I think every day something happens here that we go, oh yeah, that's Krishna. You know? Somebody comes along with just the thing that we need, just at the right time, like this new house, or we just happen to be in the right place at the right time to find out some piece of information that we need to know. Or, I mean, there's so many things. Every day something happens where we go, oh yeah, that's Krishna. Because Krishna responds to his devotees. When we try to do service for him, then he reciprocates with us. Ye yata mang prapadyante. As they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. He says in Bhagavad Gita. Actually, everything is there in Bhagavad Gita. Gita is known as Gita-upanishad. Gita-upanishad because even though it's a part of Mahabharata, which is basically written on the platform of Karma-kanda. Karma-kanda means a materialistic competition for elevation to the heavenly planets. So even though Mahabharata is written on that platform, the Bhagavad Gita is there. The Bhagavad Gita is like a diamond hidden in coal, you know. There's all this other stuff in the Mahabharata, but Bhagavad Gita is there, and that's giving the highest truths, the highest conclusions of the Upanishads. Because in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna inquires, and he inquires from Krishna, not just anybody. Arjuna doesn't accept any old spiritual master. No, he only accepts Krishna as the spiritual master because Krishna is complete in all knowledge and all potencies. So, I want to share something about my personal experience in studying Vedanta and writing about Vedanta. It's like I feel this is like wrapping up all the separate threads of inquiry that I had opened up in all kinds of directions over many, many years. It really feels like Vedanta, the end of knowledge, the final knowledge, the ultimate truth. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that knowledge, once known, means that no additional knowledge is needed. That knowledge by which everything else is known. This is another one of these esoteric statements. What does that mean? The knowledge by which everything else is known. He says when a person has this knowledge, it's like the sun lights up everything in the daytime. This knowledge reveals everything. So if you have the knowledge that reveals everything, then you don't need any further knowledge. Because anything that you want to know, you can know through that knowledge. Well, what is that knowledge? Well, structurally, it's called transcendental ontology. You've heard me say this a million times, and I bet none of you have ever looked it up in the dictionary. I bet, huh? How much? Bet you. Florian? Uh-oh, I'm in trouble now. Florian's going to win the bet. But everybody else, they keep hearing me say, use the dictionary, use the dictionary, use the dictionary. And you think I'm kidding or something, huh? Dictionaries are only for little old English teachers or something like that. Huh? No, dictionaries are for everybody, because otherwise you're not going to understand what I'm talking about. Huh? Transcendental ontology is the means to know everything. If you understand this knowledge of transcendental ontology, you'll understand everything. The 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is called the Uddhava Gita, because it's like Bhagavad Gita, but it's spoken to Uddhava instead. And this Uddhava Gita contains nothing but transcendental ontology. Just like Srimad Bhagavatam contains nothing but transcendental ontology. So if you know this knowledge of transcendental ontology, then by means of this knowledge, everything else is known. Because it gives the categories and the relationships between those categories of all the different levels of existence in the whole universe. This is so wonderful. I mean, there's no way I can explain how wonderful it is. To be in the middle of that and to know it and actually have command over it, you know, like you have command over a musical instrument or something like that. To become practiced in this knowledge. To become so familiar with this knowledge that you know what Krishna is going to say. Huh? You get to know Krishna so well that you know how he's going to respond to something, how he's going to feel about something. You get to understand Krishna's values, Krishna's intentions, his mood, his ways of doing things. And it's like, you know what he's going to say next, you know what he's going to do, you know how he's going to react. You get to know Krishna as a person. Because why? You're reading about his values. You know? It's just like as if I wrote down, well, I like vanilla ice cream, and I like, you know, yogurt, and I like this, and I like lots of hot chilies. You know? And then if you cook for me, you know exactly how to cook, because you know what I like. So similarly, Krishna has given his values and his preferences and his purposes and everything in the Uddhava Gita, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and in the Vedanta Sutra. And if you read Vedanta Sutra, you start to understand. Actually, everything in the Vedas is just about Brahman. Everything in the Vedas is just about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything in the Vedas ultimately indicates Krishna and nothing else. And we're supposed to worship and do service to Krishna and no one else. And the proof of that is that if we do that, if we follow those instructions, then, oh, everything becomes so wonderful. And it's not like, you know, well, I guess maybe some people might want to go out and run down the street shouting, hey, worship Krishna, worship Krishna. I mean, Lord Chaitanya did. It's kind of hard to do in today's society, but what? You want to do it?
Well, no, I just thought about maybe they would take me to the insane asylum.
Maybe they would take you to the nut house, yeah. Right? Well, a lot of people think like that. But when Prabhupada came to the United States, as soon as he got some students, what was the first thing he did? He went out to the park and they started chanting in public and dancing, Hare Krishna. And we were even thinking, oh, wouldn't it be cool to go down to Katimako, to the market, you know, where they're selling fish and, you know, dead cows, and just go down the middle with a big kirtan, and, you know, because there's these narrow little streets and there's like thousands of people walking around. We could hit everybody in town.
Spread the transcendental virus.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do it as long as we don't impose on anybody. See? As long as we don't try to force anybody. Right? And how do we do that? Well, we inquire from people when they come. Do you want to know the highest truth? Huh? I mean, are you here like to take care of your problems? Or do you really want to know the highest truth? Because that will automatically take care of your problems. You won't have to do anything separate to resolve them. Just like if someone chants Vishnu Sahasranam, 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu, all their material problems will be solved automatically. And they won't be able to say how it's happening. Just somehow or other, things gradually become nice. You can't see how it's happening. It's a mystery. It's divine. It's special. It's transcendental. But that's what we specialize in, is transcendental knowledge. We know how Krishna sees things, how Krishna likes things, how Krishna operates, because we read his opinions in the scriptures. And once we get to know him, once we understand how he thinks, what his values are, what his tastes are, what his ethics are, then we can understand how Krishna is going to respond. Just like we had an incident the last few days on our forum, we had some guy making nonsense posts, And somebody might say, well, what's the problem with that? Allow him to express himself, But we know by experience